Sakyamuni Buddha. Dear Sangha members, lay Buddhas, ladies and gentlemen from across Australia and around the world, warmest greetings and welcome to the very first online celebration of the Australian observance of the United Nations Day of Vesak 2020. For brevity purposes, I will be referring to this event as the Australian UN Day of Vesak throughout this program. My name is Joyce M. Nguyen, and it is an honour for me to be your MC for today. Despite the extraordinary times that we find ourselves in, we just want to say thank you so much for joining us at this very important event. We have a full program for you to enjoy. We hope you'll stay with us until the end. The Australian observance of the United Nations Day of Vesak 2020 celebration will begin with some of the previous year's highlights. We will then officially commence the program with a brief background on this important event. Following this, you will hear 2 Vesak messages from the United Nations representatives. Following this is a Vesak message from the Australian Prime Minister. You will then hear a Vesak message from the opposition leader, the Australian Labor Party, which will be followed by an upbeat song. It will then be followed by an opening speech from the President of the Buddhist Federation of Australia. Then we will have 3 chanting sessions from the 3 main Buddhist traditions before changing the atmosphere with another fabulous song. You will then be introduced to the basics of loving-kindness meditation before we sit together in a 1-minute silence and a 4-minute guided meditation to commemorate Vesak Day. The program will end with beautiful common Buddhist chantings in the form of 2 songs, and a concluding remark will be made by the MC. Now, let's begin with the previous year's highlights of the Australian UN Day of Vesak celebrations. Please sit back, relax, and enjoy.
Sharing creates the greatest love of all.
I think first of all, the event was very well organized. The attendance was superb. I think you had over 1,500 people there, coming from different parts of Australia, as far as Melbourne and Adelaide and Canberra and other places. But the important thing, I think, is the way the organization, your organization, had organized this to pay tribute to the contribution by the Buddhist religion or Buddhism towards peace in the world. I think this is the biggest success that I can say that you have managed to achieve. You have been able to highlight the importance of Buddhism and its contribution to world peace.
We say this is a perfect day for world peace in a world filled with illusionary, with so many lies beneath. It's so good to know that there's hope for you and me.
second largest religion in Australia, indeed more than 2% of our population. Importantly, a fact that's little known, 1/4 of those people were born in this country, not only through their migration.
We attended many Vesak Day functions around Australia. I have been guest in your centres, in your homes, and have been very grateful for the hospitality bestowed upon me and my family as friends of your community. He said it's rare in this place. I have to say the Prime Minister and the Leader are absent because they are about to join issue.
It's actually cheered up my whole day, so thank you very much for being here and for your presence. And on behalf of the Australian Greens, I'm very delighted to offer my support in recognising this.
I would like to pay respect to the indigenous Australians and the brave centre who protects and preserve this high-raised land.
Let us strive every day to improve both ourselves and our world. As Phil Ruddock mentioned, as the Prime Minister and the Leader of the Opposition prepare to join issue, I hope that they keep those words in their minds.
Such displays of solidarity are increasingly essential in today's interdependent world. They are reflected in the day of Vesak itself, and the acts of compassion for the less fortunate are a part of this annual observance.
Ladies and gentlemen, we hope you enjoyed those highlights. Now, I have the pleasure of sharing a brief history of the Australian UN Day of Vesak on behalf of the organising committee. Hopefully, it will help you to better understand the objectives of this important annual event. Vesak, Buddhist Day, is the most sacred day in the Buddhist calendar as it commemorates the birth, enlightenment and passing of the Sakyamuni Gautama Buddha. Vesak has been celebrated for more than 2.5 millennia by the Sangha, lay Buddhists and interested people all over the world. It is celebrated in various forms, cultures and traditions and maintained by more than 600 temples and Buddhist organisations in Australia. A United Nations resolution on the 15th of December 1999 recognised Vesak as an international day which should be celebrated and observed by the UN headquarters, UN regional offices and member countries. This has been in operation since the year 2000. In 2007, the Buddhist Federation of Australia, the BFA, in collaboration with the UN Information Centre and other Buddhist temples and organisations, initiated a national celebration of Vesak Day under the name Australian Observance of the UN Day of Vesak. The first objective is to make the Australian public and government more aware of this auspicious day. In fact, as a member of the United Nations, Australia is obliged to comply with and support the implementation of the above-mentioned UN resolution. The second objective is to encourage all Buddhist temples and organisations in Australia to join hands once a year to celebrate the UN Day of Vesak in unity and solidarity and at a national level. The third objective is to strengthen the propagation and practice of the key tenets of the Buddhist teachings on peace, compassion and wisdom for the well-being and happiness of all beings in Australia. During the past 12 years, the Australian observance of the UN Day of Vesak has gained strong support from the Australian Buddhist community as well as from local, state and federal governments. The Buddhist community in Australia is working with strong commitment and dedication to request that the Australian government endorse Vesak Day as an Australian public holiday. Wouldn't that be nice? Ladies and gentlemen, next we have a Vesak message from the United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres and President of the United Nations Association of Australia, UNAA, Mr. Mario Delia, which will be read by the Vice President of UNAA, Dr. Patricia Jenkins.
Warmest greetings, and it is indeed a pleasure to once again share Vesak Day celebrations with my very dear friends from the Buddhist community. It is now my pleasure to share with you a very special message from the United Nations Secretary General to celebrate Vesak Day 2020. I extend best wishes to all celebrating Vesak, a sacred occasion to millions around the world. On this date, marking the birth, enlightenment and passing of the Buddha, all of us, Buddhists and non-Buddhists alike, can reflect on his life and draw inspiration from his teachings. In a time of growing intolerance and inequality, the Buddha's messages of non-violence and service to others are more relevant than ever. On the day of Vesak, let us renew our commitment to building a world of peace and dignity for all. Thank you, Antonio Guterres. It is also now my pleasure to share with you a message from the President of the United Nations Association of Australia, Mr. Mario Delia. On behalf of the United Nations Association of Australia, it gives me great pleasure to extend our best wishes to the Buddhist Federation of Australia and to Buddhists and non-Buddhists the world over on the International Day of Vesak. In this time of uncertainty, the Buddhist message of peace, compassion and the service to others is as meaningful as ever. Indeed, this message aligns directly with our work and the goals and values of the United Nations, including the Sustainable Development Goals. The UN plays a key role in supporting people and countries to work together to overcome the unprecedented challenges we face. And as we do so, we continue to draw inspiration from the teachings of the Buddha. We are delighted to join you on this sacred day as we celebrate the Buddha and his teachings, which are fundamental to the mission of the United Nations Association of Australia to create a safer, fairer and more sustainable world. We also appreciated being included in this very special Vesak celebration and look forward to continuing the long tradition. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Patricia Jenkins. Ladies and gentlemen, it's an honour for us to receive a Vesak message from the Australian Prime Minister, the Honourable Scott Morrison. Message from the Prime Minister. Vesak 2020. Vesak is usually a time of special celebration for Buddhists across the world. It's a time of prayer and quiet reflection, as well as generosity and devotion. However, this year will be very different as we all experience a global health crisis. It's an unprecedented crisis, a once-in-a-century event. It requires every single one of us to be mindful of our civic duty. All of us have a role to play in keeping our community safe. Employers, nurses, doctors, teachers, scientists, friends, family, and neighbours. I know we will rise to the challenge. I know we can draw on deep wells of courage and compassion, each of us strengthened by our families, our neighbours, our trust in each other, and our hope of better days. Life has changed, and it will continue to change in the months ahead. But Australians are remarkably resilient people, and we are working together with a new sense of purpose. Though we cannot gather together in our places of worship or congregate in public celebration, we can be together in spirit. We can draw strength from the values of compassion, charity, kindness, and respect that I know the Buddhist community upholds. They are values that the world now needs more than ever as we look forward to better days. I wish Australia's Buddhist community all the best for a healthy and peaceful Vesak, and thank you for all you give to Australia, this special place we call home. The Honourable Scott Morrison, MP, Prime Minister of Australia, May 2020. Ladies and gentlemen, now it gives me great pleasure to introduce you to a Vesak message from the Honourable Anthony Albanese, MP, Leader of the Opposition, Australian Labor Party, a message from the Leader of the Opposition. United Nations Day of Vesak. It is with great pleasure that I send you my warmest greetings for the Australian observance of the United Nations Day of Vesak. It is a day of significance as the light of the full moon gives the sign to commemorate the birth, enlightenment, and passing of Sakyamuni Gautama Buddha. The many centuries since his passing have, if anything, served to emphasize the timelessness, the value, and the power of his wisdom. It is also a reminder of what a welcome part of the Australian family that the Buddhist community is. You are an intrinsic part of who we are as a nation. We celebrate both the differences of our many parts and our great strength as a whole. The Day of Vesak is an important part of that. Of course, as with so many other events this year, this Day of Vesak will be different due to the disruption caused by the COVID-19 pandemic. Yet, as the great celebration goes online this year, with meditation and chanting drawn together from 3 Buddhist traditions, it will be another reminder that even as the pandemic has pushed us apart physically for now, it has in so many other ways brought us closer together. On behalf of my colleagues, I wish you the best on this auspicious day. Yours sincerely, Anthony Albanese, Leader of the Australian Labor Party. Now, for some lively upbeat music, please enjoy Shining Star, written and performed by Dr. Jeff Wilson.
This is how you live as an island. Find a sanctuary deep inside. There's nothing else that you can depend on. There's no other sanctuary, no rock or stone to hide behind, no other place to run to, set deep inside. Dhamma Dipa Dhamma Saranam, a shining star. Dhamma Dipa Dhamma Saranam, a shining star. When there's nobody else to turn to, no protection, new company, a shining light inside you is set free. Dhamma Dipa Dhamma Saranam, a shining star. Dhamma Dipa Dhamma Saranam, a shining star. There's no other sanctuary, no rock or stone to hide behind, no other place to run to except deep inside. Tamadipa Dhamma Saranang, a shining star. Tamadipa Dhamma Saranang, a shining star.
Ladies and gentlemen, now for a message from the President of the Buddhist Federation of Australia. It's an honour to introduce you to Most Venerable Sudomo.
Good evening, member of the Sanghas, Buddhist follower, and everyone who are watching this live event in Australia and around the world. We are one world family. Today, it is my great pleasure to extend my deep concerns on this annual United Nations of Vesak celebration. Under the impact of COVID-19 pandemic that adversely affect health risks as well as the socio-economic uncertainty. This worldwide crisis demoralizes people whatever their career or background in their daily life and in regard to their future. Historically, the war similar chaos happened in Vesali, the capital city of ancient Vachi state, India. The Buddha came upon the call of the town people for aid. He generated his great compassion through the chanting of Ratana Sutta by his attendants, disciple Ananda. After the chanting, the epidemic was overcome and peace was re-established into the town. Spiritually, the Ratana Sutta chanting that extolled great virtue of the Triple Gem, Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha cleared the epidemic evil spirits from the city place. Mentally, the Buddha cured the mind of the people through his visit, extending his great loving kindness and compassion. This is the tremendous blessing of the Buddha, who was born in the full moon day of the 6th month in the past 2000 and some 500 years ago. I'm glad that we are here to celebrate this meaningful day, the auspicious day that Australian and worldwide Buddhists and non-Buddhists would share loving kindness to all humanity and sentient beings to wisely overcome this difficult and challenging time. Lastly, I would like to express my gratitude to our organizing committee and distinguished guests, those who are supposed this event. Thank you. On behalf of the Buddhist Federation of Australia, eventually may the power of the Triple Gem being success, and happiness to all of you. May the Dhamma of Buddha spread widely and protect this world by making people compassionate and allowing them to live their life peacefully. Nam Mô Bổn Sư Thích Ca Mâu Ni Phật. Amitabha. Om Mani Padme Hum. Namo Buddhaya. Vigneta. Thank you.
Thank you, Most Venerable. Now, we'd like to invite you to put your palms together to join in on the Buddhist chantings from the three main Buddhist traditions, Theravada, Mahayana, and Vajrayana.
Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Yang kinci vetang itawa urang wasake yang ratanang panditang nano samang aditatha kate naitam bhikkhuan te ratanang panditang etena sajena suwanti hotu khayang virakang amatang panditang yatha kakasa kaya muni samahito anatena thamme na samadhi kinci thampi thamme ratanang panitang etena sajena suwati hotu yam puatha setho pariwana yesu cing samadhi manan karikan yamahu samadhi nate na samoana vechati thampi thamme ratanang panitang etena sajena suwati hotu ye buakhara atasatang pasatha jatari etani yukhani hoti tetha kinaya sukhata tasavaka ete suthinna nimaha phalani thampi sanghe ratanang panitang etena sajena suwati hotu yesu bhayuanta manasa than he nani kamino ธัมมัสสาสนามิเตปฏิปัตตาอมตังวิคัยหาราธามุทานิพุติงโพชมานาอิธัมปิสังเขรัตนังปณิตังเอเตนะสาเจนะสุวันติโหตุขีนังบุรานังนาวังนาติสัมภวังวิราชจิตตายติเกภวะสมิงเตขีนะพีชาอวิรุณิชันธานิพันติธีรายถายามปฏิโปอิธัมปิสังเขรัตนังปณิตังเอเตนะสาเจนะสุวัตติโหนตุภาวันตุสัพพมังคารังราคันตุสัพพเทวตาสัพพพุทธานุภาเวนัสสทธาโสติภวันตุเตภวันตุสัพพมังคารังราคันตุสัพพเทวตาสัพพธรรมานุภาเวนัสสทธาโสติภวันตุเตภวันตุสัพพมังคารังราคันตุสัพพเทวตาสัพพสังฆานุภาเวนัสสทธาโสติภวันตุเต
Dear Sangha member, Buddhist fellow ladies and gentlemen, I would like to welcome you to Quang Minh Temple. I'm Venerable Phúc Tan, Abbot of Quang Minh Temple. Today is a special day. It marks the birth of the Lord Buddha. And also, in a special condition, our Sangha member will chant the verse of the Buddha birthday. So please join me. Từ hôm nay gặp ngày khánh đàn, một dạ vui mừng cúi đầu đảnh lễ, thầm phương tam thể điều ngự Như Lai cùng thánh hiền tăng. Chúng con cùng pháp giới chúng sanh bởi thiếu nhân lành, hãy đều xa đọa tham thân chấp ngã, quên hẳn đường về tình ái si mê, tù trong lùng đạo đắm dây phiền não, nghiệp bao khôn cùng. Nay nhờ Phật tổ năng nhân dụ lòng lân mẫn, không nợ sanh lanh thiêu phương, nặng kiếp luân hồi đêm dài thăm tối, đua tuệ rạng soi nguyện cứu muôn loài, thầy dùng phương tiện ta bà thị hiện tinh chúng thọ sanh, thánh ma gia mộng ức điềm lành, của tịnh phạm phước sanh con hào. 32 tương tôn vừa mới 9 tuổi xuân, lòng tự ai cực thuận, chi xuất trần quá mạnh, ngai vàng quyết tranh tìm lối xuất gia, 6 năm khổ hạnh rừng già,
bày thân nghiêm tinh thiền to, chứng thành đạo quả hàng phụng ma binh, ba cõi đều dậy tiếng quang nghênh. Muôn vật hãy nhờ ơn thế độ, chúng con nguyện dứt bỏ dục tình quan cố, hồng đòi đức thánh quang minh. Cuối sinh phận tổ giám thành, từ bi gia hộ chúng con cùng pháp giới chúng sanh, trong thành đạo cả. Nam mô Ta Bà thế giới tam giới đạo sư tứ sanh từ phụ nhân thiên giáo chủ thiên ba ức hóa thân bổn sư thích ca mâu ni Phật. Nam mô bổn sư thích ca mâu ni Phật. Nam mô bổn sư thích ca mâu ni Phật. Nam mô bổn sư thích ca mâu ni Phật.
We are in the darkness of the coronavirus pandemic. We in the darkness of the fear of economic collapse. We in the fear of sickness and disunity, isolation, loneliness. However, I wish all of you to be bright like the star in the darkness, shining the path, the way. May I wish all of you to be strong, your wisdom, your kindness, like the healer for the sickness. And I wish you all safe, and may the Triple Gem bless you always.
Day, everyone. So, firstly, I would like to say happy United Nations Reset Day. So, which is United Nations President Mr. Henry Dong request to our Barom Kaju Jujuling. So, a short prayer and a short message to everyone. So, this year, this Corona-19, this situation cannot celebrate together. But this modern world, we can celebrate together and online. So, which is Vedayana tradition and the Mahayana tradition and the Theravadan tradition. All these three yanas in order to bring together and pray together our Lord Buddha Shakyamuni's birthday, which is extremely important to all of us. So that reason, so then same time we wishing, we pray this can be beneficial to world peace and harmony, happiness to all sentient beings. So now Lamas and myself, so we are doing short prayer. This is basic celebration.
Thank you, everyone.
Now, for a change of atmosphere, please enjoy the Universal Love with Om Mani Padme Hum mantra by a very familiar face at our Vesak events, Dharmacharya, Sanskrit for Dharma Master, Andrew J. Williams.
May all sentient beings be happy. May they live in safety and joy. All sentient beings, whether weak or strong, great or small, short or tall, seen or unseen, near or distant, born or to be born. May they all be happy. Let no one deceive or despise another being in any state. Let none by anger or hatred wish harm upon another. Just as a mother would protect her only child with her life, even so let one cultivate a boundless love toward all sentient beings. Let one radiate that boundless love towards the entire world, above, below, and in all directions. without hindrance, without ill will, without enmity. May we all be happy. Take very good care, stay safe and stay well. Namo Buddhaya.
Ladies and gentlemen, next is a short chanting and introduction to loving kindness meditation to help give you a tool to use, especially during times of crisis like this. It will be conducted by Venerable Panyavaro.
Loving kindness meditation and how to do it. The systematic practice begins with developing loving acceptance of yourself. If any resistance is experienced, then it indicates feelings of unworthiness are present. No matter. This means you need to change the negative quality of mind and overcome any feelings of self-doubt or ill will towards others. In the technique, 4 types of persons are chosen to develop loving kindness towards. First, a respected, beloved person, such as a spiritual teacher. Secondly, your dearly beloved, a close family member or dear friend. Third, a neutral person, which is somebody you know but have no special feelings towards. For example, a person in a shop who might serve you over a counter. The fourth person is a hostile person. That is someone you're currently having difficulty with. Starting with yourself, then moving systematically from person to person in the given order, will have the effect of breaking down the barriers between yourself and the 4 types of persons. In this way, you are breaking down the divisions within your own mind, freeing oneself of self-induced conflicts and ill will. There are three ways or devices to arouse feelings of loving kindness. First, through a visualization. That is, imagining a positive mental picture of yourself or the chosen person. Then you could try a reflection, first towards yourself. It becomes an affirmation, that is, a positive statement about yourself. To others, it's reflecting on the positive quality of that person and the acts of kindness they've done. The third device is the simplest, but probably the most effective. It is repeating an internalized mantra or repetition of a word or phrase, such as loving kindness, loving kindness, loving kindness. These three devices, the visualizations, reflection, and or the repetition of loving kindness, are devices to help you arouse positive emotional feelings. You can use all of them or one that works best in the meditation. When the positive feelings arise, switch from the devices to the feelings, as it is the feelings that are the primary focus. Keep the mind fixed on the feeling. If it strays, gently bring it back. If the feelings weaken or are lost, then return to the device. For example, use the visualization to bring back or strengthen the feeling. The second stage in loving kindness meditation is directional pervasion, where you systematically project the aroused feelings of loving kindness to all points of the compass, north, south, east, west, up and down and all around. This directional pervasion is strengthened by bringing to mind your friends and Dharma communities in the cities, towns and countries around the world. Finally, non-specific pervasion follows, which tends to spontaneously happen as the practice matures and is not discriminating. There is no specific object, but just naturally radiating feelings of universal love. The practice has then come to maturity in that it has changed particular love, preferential love, which is an attached love, to an unconditioned, all-embracing quality of loving kindness. The art of attention. Insight meditation is an art of attention. Its basic tool is bare attention, which uncovers or lays bare things as they really are. In this way, a non-reactive awareness is acquired that leads to the insight knowledges. Bare attention is the primary attention that sees through the content of the mind to the underlying processes. In laying bare the reality of the mind-body phenomenon, bare attention reveals the salient characteristics of change, unsatisfactoriness and impersonal process. To practice this bare attention, one simply registers the predominant object in the experience as it arises without preference. That is, noting the phenomena without reaction, be it sensation, sound, thought or a state of mind. However, if there is a reaction, as is natural for the untrained mind, then that too must be noted. The practice of bare attention is used in conjunction with the 4 spheres of attention for the establishment of mindfulness or full awareness. The framework of this practice, these spheres of attention, are frames of reference to guide the meditator in the investigation of his or her own body-mind experience in the present moment context. They are based on instructions given by the Buddha in the 4 foundations of mindfulness. First, there is awareness of the body. This is experiencing the body through its primary elements, earth, air, fire and water. That is, in actuality, hardness, softness, temperature, fluidity and movement. This includes also an awareness of the 4 body postures, sitting, standing, walking and lying down, as well as movements and actions in daily activities. The second area of attention is awareness of the feelings or sensations. This is noting the feeling quality or tone as either pleasant, unpleasant or neutral, while being careful to differentiate the primary or bare feeling from the emotional elaboration or story. The third area of attention is awareness of the consciousness and or the state of mind. The awareness of consciousness is the knowing of anything, for example, a physical sensation and the knowing of it. Also, particular attention is paid to the mind states, for example, elation, depression, agitation, calm, and noticing their arising and passing away or impermanent nature. And finally, the fourth area of attention is awareness of the mental phenomenon. This is not analysing or classifying mental events, but using the attention to passively register the things of the mind, thoughts, ideas and concepts, as a witness without any commentary. It is not the intention to stop the thinking, but to see the nature of thought itself. So these four spheres of attention are the framework for the practice and your guide for the development of insight meditation.
Ladies and gentlemen, we will now be having a 1-minute silence for those directly affected by COVID-19, which will immediately be followed by a 4-minute guided meditation to commemorate Vesak Day. 1-minute silence to extend our heartfelt condolences to those who lost their loved ones amidst the COVID-19 pandemic, to pray for the recovery of the infected people and for the betterment of our lives, to affirm that together, in unity, solidarity and loving kindness, we will overcome this unprecedented, difficult and challenging time. Please sit comfortably, relax your mind and body, deeply breathe in and out, close your eyes. The 1-minute silence starts now. The 1-minute silence is now complete. Please continue to keep your eyes closed for a 4-minute guided meditation led by Venerable Phra Samu Sathithithadhammo.
At this moment, may I ask opportunity from Most Venerable, Senior Venerable, to guide meditation to commemorate Vesak to the audience. Today, we are at home, but we can join together to commemorate the importance of Vesak Day. More than 2,600 years ago, the Buddha sat under the Bodhi tree. Seeking to end the suffering. Not only for himself, but for all beings. he has achieved the enlightenment on the night of Vesak full moon day. So today we join together to follow his footstep. The seeking to end suffering is not anywhere else, but within ourselves, within our mind. The Buddha has found the path, the middle path. Everything around us, they are all impermanent, or could call it is empty. So you can imagine you sitting in an empty space. Allow the mind to free from all worry. Allow the mind to stay within. Just maintain the mind. Be neutral. Stay calm and relaxed. The two key balance in meditation is to allow yourself to be relaxed all the time, as well as maintain your mindfulness. Let's allow yourself to take these few minutes to obtain your inner peace.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have now come to the final part of the program. Please join in for the common Buddhist chanting songs.
Sentient beings are countless. May they all be saved. Emotional afflictions are boundless. May they all be extinguished. The Dharma paths are many. I aspire to learn them all. Awakening is the highest achievement. I aspire to attain it.
Fog does not differ from emptiness. Emptiness does not differ from fog. That which is from its emptiness. That which is emptiness is more. God, God, God beyond, God far beyond, awake and rejoice. God, God, God beyond, God far beyond, awake
Sangha members, lay Buddhists, ladies and gentlemen, that now concludes our program for the very first online celebration of the Australian observance of the United Nations Day of Vesak 2020. We hope you enjoyed the program and thank you so much for staying right until the end. I'd like to take this opportunity on behalf of the organising committee to say thank you so much to all of our supporters, to our volunteers who have put in a lot of hard work and dedication, and of course to you for being here today and supporting this important event. We couldn't have done it without you all. I'd also like to take this opportunity to dedicate all of the merits accumulated as a result of being involved in this program for the enlightenment of all beings. Before you go, if you haven't already done so, I'd like to invite you to like the Facebook page and subscribe to the YouTube channel for future updates about UN Vesak Day celebrations in Australia. If you like that, please give it a thumbs up and add your comments below. Thank you so much for your time and attention. Stay happy, healthy and safe. Namo Sakyamuni Buddha.
May the merit made by me now or at some other time be shared by all sentient beings here, by rejoicing in this cause, this gift of merits given by me. May all sentient beings live a happy life, be free from hatred, and may they find the path secure, and their good wishes all succeed.